have a folksy wooden motivational quote that states, "We can do hard things." This phrase, popularized by Glennon Doyle, author of Untamed, is the name of her podcast where she, her wife, and her sister interview guests to discuss how we, as a collective people, can live our best lives while striving against angst-producing situations. Her full quote is, "We can do hard things, like be alive and love deep and lose it all. Because we do these hard things alongside everyone who has ever walked the earth with their eyes, arms, and heart wide open." In our readings, Paul is writing his mentee, Timothy, for the second time. They were well acquainted with striving together through hardship, as Timothy kept Paul company while Paul was under arrest for the first time in Rome for 2 years. Today's Timothy's passage is written during Paul's final arrest, where he was facing execution, and among other things, he asked Timothy to visit one more time. Paul had worked for Timothy to keep doing for moving the gospel forward, but he also missed his friend. It shouldn't be difficult to think about how Paul probably felt as a man about to be killed. When the going gets hard, we look for our friends. I'll never forget standing in front of my house as the fire department sprayed water on it, as they entered it with a chainsaw. Wait, what? A chainsaw? At some point, I knew I had to call for support. But how do you decide who to call? I realized I just needed to reach out because I didn't know what I needed to do, but I knew whatever it was, I couldn't do it alone. I called a friend to say I wasn't going to drink over it, someone who did the hard thing of sobriety with me. I called my pastor, who arrived with blankets and cat carriers, a former student who lived nearby and just showed up unbidden, with connections to a veterinarian and more cat carriers. In the days, weeks, and months that followed, many entered my chaotic life. Friends, family, colleagues, even folks from a professor-only group on Facebook. They lifted me with their gifts, their time, all of which were expressions of love. Expressing one's vulnerability seems to activate the love of others. Honestly acknowledging our needs can be scary, but God is there in our terror, telling us not to be afraid. We admitted the first 2 words of the first step of any 12-step recovery program. Members call their program a "we" program because of these beginning words, also acknowledging that without the admission of need, others who have suffered the same way cannot come alongside and love to help. Helping each other works to keep both sober. I have shared the observation that at times I wondered if people genuinely liked me or if I just have good utility for others. I realized on that sidewalk, at that moment in time, I had no utility for anyone. I wouldn't have utility for the foreseeable future either. But that was the time I experienced the most love. At the easiest time to walk away from me, when I was a babbling idiot, ball of dysregulation, people came to me instead of walking away. That was God working through those people for our mutual good. Together, we did the hard thing.